My name's Richard Clemma, Chief Cultivation Officer, MTL Cannabis. MTL Cannabis is a licensed producer and based out of Pointe-Claire, Quebec. We have facilities in Louisville, Quebec as well, and Pickering, Ontario, as well as 12 clinics across Canada, servicing veterans mainly. In this facility, we have 10 flowering rooms, 3 grow rooms, some other room, all the processing rooms. We have about 204 plants per room, so about 2,500 plants on site at any given time. Our main brands out of this facility are MTL Cannabis, Rebel for Quebec, and LowKey for the rest of Canada. So myself and my brother started Puss up in Saint Jerome, Quebec in about 2003. We were there for about 5-6 years. From that point on, we transitioned into ACMPR growing as soon as it became legalized in 2013. Had multiple sites, built out this facility in early 2017 and got licensed in 2019. The spark that led to the creation of MTL Cannabis, I'd say, is really just our love of growing. We didn't want to stop, and we saw that the way the market was moving, we really had to adapt with the times and go completely legitimate to survive. I think the way we look at it, we tried to bring the best that the street had back in the day to the consumer of the legal market. So really, it's all about quality first and foremost. We wanted the best bag appeal, the best smell, best terpenes, best THC content, and we would take care to literally keep the flower as intact as possible. Like our ideal is like having a jar when you crack it open, that smell hits your nose. You look at it, there's only like 3, 4, 5 buds at the most, so you don't have like a pile of shake. So that's really the key for us. I think the biggest things we found is like just having, now with so much data, we can look back on harvest after harvest, everything that we did throughout the life cycle of that plant. So it's all basically captured in our data software. So from temperature, humidity, watering frequencies, CO2 levels, even just the cameras. We're under, basically, we have I think 150 cameras in our building. So every single square foot is under camera at any given time with 2 years worth of data. So we can always look back and just even watch the progression of the growth of the plants throughout the rooms. So I'm 47 now. I started growing just for personal use back when I was 18. I met Jason Stanley, who is the head of sales and marketing over at BioFloral's, had a Puss gardening store over in my area. So I met up with him. He pretty much taught me the basics of how to get started on growing. And then from that point on, we moved on to actually buying our own Puss, which was part of Bright Light at the time, which BioFloral took over. We bought a lot of our products. I think my friendship with Jason, which started a long time ago, was really like we stayed close over the years and we helped each other out whenever we could. Like I said, he taught me the basics of everything I know. I used to hang out at his store all the time, constantly picking his brain to see what new things were happening in the industry, what he thinks that could be better with what I was doing. And yeah, he just helped me out all the way along. And like even now, I still call him up every so often for some advice here and there. When we had the hydroponics store, BioFloral had the best prices around, but then also they also had everything in stock at all times, whereas a lot of other suppliers, basically you'd order it and it would take 2, 3, 4 weeks to come in, whereas with Bio, I just call them up and the next day it was basically you go pick it up or it was being delivered in the next few days. Now as an LP, basically my orders are much bigger than they used to be, but they still give us great service at all times. We don't even shop around anymore. We know they have the best prices, so we just call them up and get everything that we need from them. We first started working with BioFloral back in probably 2003. They were just a very small company. They were just up and coming. Then they started taking over. It happened very quickly. Like we were dealing with Bright Light at the time, who was a much bigger company, and all of a sudden BioFloral would get the Grodan contract, then they brought in Canna, then they brought in other suppliers, and we just saw them just start rising up, and it all came down to service, best pricing, and now it being one of the top supplier in Canada, there's a reason for it. We buy Optimum. That's our main fertilizer, and always has been, always will be. Grodan blocks, Grodan plugs, all of our domes, scissors, scalpels, growing trays, growing media being perlite, consumables like gloves, netting, AgQuest dehumidifiers, you name it. There was a time when we were running really low on perlite and we were about to run out, and Jay went out of his way to go and track some down at another supplier when he didn't have enough himself and gave it to us basically at his cost or even below cost, I think. With the help of BioFloral and their team, they really helped us along the way just to streamline some operations and just also with some of the new technology. Like I get first heads up when something new comes on the market, I get a call from one of the salespeople like, oh, you gotta try this. And early on, they helped us with business plans, cultivation advice. Now just with the supply, whatever we need, it's become more of a friendship than a business relationship. International expansion, we've already shipped to Germany. We're about to get into Poland, the UK, Australia, and possibly the Ukraine. Whenever people ask me about getting into this business, I always tell them the same thing. Basically, if you want to be a good cultivator, you have to have a passion for the plant. You got to be very disciplined. Any new cultivator now, I'd always recommend be hooked up with an LP in one form or another. Don't try to go it on your own and get your own brand out. It's not easy. It might be a great thing to do as a second part of your journey, but to start with, just try to hook up with an LP and supply them with a good quality product. Yeah, I'd suggest any licensed producer out there to open an account with BioFloral's because they have everything you could possibly need. It's all one stop. You don't want to waste your time shopping around 15 different places. You have better things to do with your time. Just go to the guys that have it all. Right now, we're in the process of doing a retrofit, so we're actually already in discussions right now to buy a whole pile of LED lights from them, more tables, and then we just see this going on for a long time to come. MTL keeps on expanding. We want to go international eventually, so BioFloral will be along the ride with us.